Our next question comes from Frank in South Carolina. BD and Anna, I need your help. I'm really stressing about college. I haven't received any acceptances from the colleges I applied to yet. I'm really worried that I will not get into any of them. I need ways to lower my stress. Please help me.
Well, Frank, I'd like to start off by thanking you and putting BD first before Anna. That makes me happy. Hey, it happens in a blue moon. I'll take it. All right, so college. Oh, man. So, you haven't received any acceptances from colleges you've applied to. There's no context to how long it's taken, so these processes can take a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Hopefully you had a diverse selection of colleges you were trying to apply to, right? If there are more colleges that you need to apply to, maybe you can, some local colleges. You need ways to lower your stress because you're worried you're not going to get into any of them. Well, there's always going to be colleges willing to take your money and let you in. They may not be always the college you
want to go
your top choices. There's also options to go to community college for your first couple years to build up the basic credits at a low cost and then transfer into the college that you want to, with those credits.
I had a college odyssey, 3 colleges, and I managed to graduate in 4 years. It was a small miracle. I did get into a college that I wanted, and my parents should have never let me go because it was too expensive for us. And then so my second year, I was at a junior college, and I was like, man, I really should have just gone to junior college for 2 years. Did all my gen ed general requirement classes for real cheap because, it was ridiculously cheap. And then I was able to work at the same time. So I was making money. I was building a resume. And I was living at home, mooching off my parents. It was fantastic. Free food, free laundry, all that good stuff.
And then your last 2 years.
And then my last 2 years was, at a 4-year college.
And you graduated.
And I graduated. So I just want to say there's different
lots
ways to get your college degree.
And no one cares how you got your college degree. It only matters that you got your college degree. And after your first job or two, it doesn't even matter that you got your college degree. It is that you have a degree, doesn't matter where from, and that now what is your work history. So,
right.
I guess we might have just given you more things to stress about, Frank. I apologize. No.
We'll answer that. How can you reduce your stress on this? But I just wanted to share that there are different paths.
Well, that's one way to reduce your stress is to know that even if you get rejected, rejection is not the end of the game. Let's say, worst case, you got rejected from all the colleges you applied to and you didn't have time to apply to any others. You could still do local school, community college, if you have access. Let's say, worst case, you can't even get to that. So you take a year to work and make money, and you apply more. You apply to different ones. There's no race that you're running in this case, right? There isn't. So the pressure you have is the pressure you're putting on yourself. Colleges are not at maximum capacity. Some colleges are, but a lot of colleges aren't. Most colleges aren't. And so, because college submissions are down. I mean, that's all I read about, by the way, is that there's lots of openings. But if you're trying to get acceptances, and let's say you're trying to get scholarships and you're trying to get grants and who knows what you're trying to do, sometimes taking a little time to make a little more money on the side if you don't have it helps ease that burden. Or as we said, you go to community college and get those general ed credits out of the way so you're not paying an expensive college, all those things for general science and math and English class, all that stuff. Like if I could have done, I went to 4 years to a state school, but if I had known what I know now, I would have done first 2 years in a community college because you spend your first 2 years. Yes, you can socialize. That is true. But to be honest, you can socialize anywhere at any time.
And I would argue junior colleges have clubs and that you can join and things that you can meet people and socialize.
Well, 4-year colleges are not that different than community college, to be honest. They're more expensive. They want you in the dorms the first year sometimes, and you're just paying for that when it'd be expensive. And
I don't think junior colleges have frats and sororities, so maybe that's maybe that's the big social difference between the two of them, and probably the sports program.
So it depends on what Frank wants out of college. Yes. But the fact is that if we're talking about schooling, which is what the focus of college should be, you have a lot of options, and you don't need to stress over them. Because sometimes life doesn't give you everything right off the bat. You have to kind of bob and weave and change direction. But as Anna pointed out, she went to 3 colleges and still got it done in 4 years and came out with her degree.
By the skin of my teeth.
Well, she worked for it. And that's what you're supposed to do at college, is work for it. So Frank, don't stress too much. Because number one, you're probably just going through a process. And they have a schedule. And, maybe if you're just checking on the colleges, they probably have a routine amount of time they do for acceptances. You could try to find out what timelines they're looking at. If it's way overdue, maybe you can even call and contact them, right? In real life, once you get out of school, you have to do a lot of that work. You have to call people, you have to call health insurance, call these places because things aren't going wrong. Call the college, find out. Right. Find out where your acceptance letter is, or where you are in the acceptance process. That knowledge will help relieve stress, because the stress comes from the unknown. Am I going to get accepted or not? So if you're actively trying to do that, the other thing I think, as we talked about, is work on your plan B and your plan C.
Absolutely.
So if you don't get into any of the colleges you applied to, can you go to community college to earn credits? To be able to apply to the colleges you want to go to, and while you're going through the process again. If you can't do that, how about earning money at a regular pace, or doing both? Well,
and as I said, if you're going to the community college and working, you're building your resume. So if you know kind of what industry or what job you're interested in going for, target companies that maybe have internships or paid internships or something.
Always do paid internships. Yeah, don't give your work away for free.
I agree. I don't think any internship should be unpaid.
No, that's grift.
Just so that's kind of a little bit of my HR hat going on there, because if you have work experience once you get your college degree, that is going to elevate your resume tremendously when you're looking for that first job after you get your college degree. Because if you have that degree plus some work experience, you are going to look so much better than other candidates.
I guess I should agree with that and point out that that's all I ever did. I didn't do internships. I didn't do special projects. I went every summer. I actually just worked at a company for a bunch of months. I got programming experience. I got fiber optic experience back.
Tree trimming experience.
That was before. It was before. No, that was the last. That was the last field work I ever did before I thought office work was
before you
more
moved
valuable.
into the office.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
But there's so many different ways to make your time more valuable. So never always look at things as an opportunity. As I said, so don't stress, Frank. Everything's going to be all right. I'm sure you're going to get into college. You're going to do great. And hopefully it's not like an underwater basket weaving degree you're trying to go for. That's not going to be as useful as anything else. All right. So the last question is for our listeners. What advice would you give Frank in this situation? Leave your feedback in the comments down below.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video.
And we appreciate that. If you need advice, go ahead and click on the link in the description below, and it may get answered in a later episode.
And if you want to watch more Twice the Advice, check out our other videos right now.